Yeah, Doggo is the meme killer. Cashing up with your thriller. House party lights all flashing. Pop a bottle, no relaxing. Flexing in the VIP. Bitches kinda feeling free. Thug life, we wildin' out. Nothing but that money cloud. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me and money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, Doggo flying. Got my crew, yeah, we're deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it high. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, Doggo's flying. Got my crew, yeah, we deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it high. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. Drink in hand, it's a vibe. Haters watching, trying to snipe. We bring the heat, no denying. In the club, Doggo's flying. Got my crew, yeah, we deep. Stacking sats, no time for sleep. Bitches dancing, feel that fire. Doggo fam, we taking it higher. New York City, we own the night. The Doggo fam, we ready to fight. Meme lords, we taking over. Flip the script, we got the clover. All these hookers wanna front, but we grinding, never stunt. Doggo making big moves. In the game, we got the groove. So raise your glass, let's toast to the ones who do the most. For the life we live in bold. Doggo worldwide, watch it unfold. Doggo, we ballin' worldwide. Me money, we can't hide. Poppin' tags like it's FOMO in the streets, no time for lows. So remember the name is clear. Doggo's here, bring the cheer. The house party high. We the kings, watch us fly. So remember the name, it's clear. Doggo's here, bring the cheer. Name money, house party high. We the kings, watch us fly.
Good morning, everybody. Fun way to start the morning. I love the Doggo. I've been doing really well with the Doggo. Doggo Nation. One of the most fun meme coins, the most liquid meme coin to ever launch on Algorand. And I think that this one is a life changer, guys. Not financial advice, all that good stuff. These are highly speculative assets. Anyway, good morning. You're watching on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana on the Smart Money Culture TV network. Really enjoy being on your TV every morning. It is a lot of fun, as well as you're joining us live around the world on X and YouTube and all these other ones. Instagram's funny. You got to click go live. You got to click go live. If you don't click go live, then it doesn't go live. I click go live on my back end, and then anyway, whatever. They make it a little difficult. So big day today. We have the Fed chair, U.S. central banking cartel, the Federal Reserve chair is going to speak today. Pretty much, I think we'll probably get an interest rate cut in September. Seems to be kind of what everybody thinks, but we'll see. It wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come out that dovish at the same time. People were pushing for a 50 basis point cut. 50 basis points is 0.5%. 25 basis points is 0.25%, just so you know. It's the layman terms. Inflation, though, is, I guess it's better than it was. That's not saying much, though. Inflation is, as you and I know, really kind of out of control. Interest rates is one of the ways that they keep the circulation of the U.S. dollars. They bring them back in, right? So the more dollars you have, the more dollars people have. And if you're in currency like we are, this stuff is pretty simple to understand. But the more U.S. dollars that are out there, the more people can spend them, the more sell pressure there is, and the lower the price goes, right? That's the way it works. So they do a variety. The central bank does a variety of different things in order to take the circulation out. They mint up the money. They don't really have anything to back it. To be totally frank, they just print it up. They give it to the people that they want to. They have total control. They do give the government what they want, but they can do whatever they want. And they then try to get the money out to taxes. That's why you pay taxes. The tax is just the burn, Doesn't really have anything to do. They don't fund anything with it. They just burn. That's just the burn, pretty much. So, and then they market make as well. They'll crash to different markets, buy back, remove the liquidity that way. They do a number of different things. They do a variety of things. They have a lot of tools in their chest that they can use in order to remove the liquidity. They can mint it and then they can remove it. And so they're good at that. They can also freeze all kinds of stuff. They can arrest people, freeze their assets. They got a lot of tools. They got a lot of tools in their shed, guys. There's a lot of tools in that shed. So he is speaking today. There's also news coming out that Russia to launch 2 crypto exchanges and stablecoins linked to the yuan and BRICS currency. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this, because the murmur is that these are going to be a real currency of the people, and it's going to be like Bitcoin. They're not going to be able to freeze it, seize it, or anything like that, right? Which, by the way, is also how, from what I understand, Polka Gold and Dalgo are. Of course, I started out the show with Dalgo Nation, right? My favorite meme coin. No clawbacks, no freezing, none of that stuff. That's when I talk about the monetary revolution. That's the peaceful way that we can fight back against the central banking cartel that has taken over our countries. That's how we do it. That's how we fight back. As long as you're holding US dollars, they can dilute you, which is a tax. Okay? They can tax you however much they want. As long as you're holding US dollars. If you're not holding US dollars, then they can't tax it, right? I mean, they can, by dilution, by inflation. And that's the way that works. So that's why we're big proponents. Diversify, get into gold, get into silver. Go to @CostMetal. Where's my banner here? @CostMetal. @Cost. You can go to @costmetals.club, or just go to @costmetals.com, use referral link clubs, and get yourself gold, palladium, platinum, silver at cost. At cost, guys. Okay? Very important to diversify. Now, gold is at all-time highs. I do expect it to continue, but it may pull back. It may chop. Okay? Dollar cost averaging is a very important strategy. We use it all the time here on the Impact Money Show. I'm also contracting people to build our site. I'm really excited about that. It's not a done deal, so I won't say who it is yet. Some very talented guys that I've had on the show before. I'm contracting for it. It's going to be pretty awesome. It is going to be pretty awesome. It's good to trade in all of these different tokens and stuff like that, but you want to get yourself some real digital gold that they can't freeze, seize, or anything like that. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Global Boost, Polka Gold, Dalgo. There's other ones out there. In general, if it's a proof of work coin, if people are mining it, then it can't be frozen, seized, stopped. That's why I got involved a long time ago. And the Fed. My man here. Thomas Massey, I'll tell you what, he's been going off. He has been going off. If I have some more time, I'll go over there and look at his thing. But I have a market report from our good man, from our main man, Matt Dixon. And of course, they have just launched their EVE token on CoinStore. So CoinStore, and I'll put the links below, but if you go to @costbitcoin.club, that'll refer you to my referral link, and you can get on CoinStore. You can get Polka Gold and eBay on CoinStore, both, but use my referral link @costbitcoin.club. Do I have that one over here? @costbitcoin. There you go. That'll forward you to it. I'm going to put the link below. It's already, if you're watching on YouTube or one of the other ones, it's already below there, but I'll put it below on X as well. @costbitcoin.club. And then you can also get these off the decentralized exchanges, which are sometimes the liquidity is better. You can get a bigger bag, but centralized, everyone likes the decentralized exchanges. Everyone loves them. So the title this morning, Navigating Wealth in Turbulent Times, Market Insights, Political Impacts, today on the Impact Money Show. All eyes on Jackson Hole as the central banking cartel. The Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, speaks at 10 a.m. World War III appears to be on hold for now. Now, I've been saying that for a little while now, a week or so. World War III, I believe, is on hold. If people thought about starting it before the election, they've decided they're not going to start it before the election. They don't want World War III before the election. Maybe Biden wanted it before the election, or maybe it was always just baloney. They don't want World War III before the election. They want to get elected. If we have elections. If we really do have elections, anyway. Okay, I have the market report. Matt Dixon, of course, the great Matt Dixon, is in Albania right now. So I have his market report here. Boom. I'm going to play it. Let me share my screen. Matt Dixon, Sir Matt the Great, and his market report here. Boom.
Good morning, Bruce, and good morning, Impact Money viewers. So we've got a packed show today with lots of news. First of all,
Might need to turn it up.
Of course, our own eBay cryptocurrency ratings token went live on CoinStore yesterday. Very successful launch. We're actually up 5.2% for the day. We're up 13.7% for the week. So, in a relatively lackluster market, I think that's great performance. So if you are interested, you can go to CoinStore, coinstore.com. You could also potentially message me, do me a direct message on X. I'm on MD Trade @MD Trade. So you can direct message me there and I can help you if you are interested in getting involved in the eBay evolution. So it's looking very exciting. We've got lots of marketing initiatives ahead, and I think there's a positive future ahead for eBay. So moving on to the rest of the market, we had some positive news, and there's been a lot of positive news around crypto and Bitcoin in particular, of course, with the ETF and everything. We also had EY, formerly you may know them as Ernst & Young, one of the big four accounting firms, one of the big four in the world, of course. So EY came out with a statement saying that they felt that crypto is now a necessary part of any investment portfolio. So it's now really getting mainstream adoption. When you get one of the big four saying that crypto should be part of a portfolio, then I think it is really becoming mainstream. So adoption is definitely accelerating. Certainly, we've seen massive inflows into the ETF, and I think we're just treading water a little bit at the moment with the economic uncertainty. But I think that crypto is actually set to take off and take a leap higher. So this is PCE numbers, just jumping around a little bit. These are PCE numbers coming out on the 30th. Now, this is, of course, the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. Now, we do have a Fed rate decision coming on the 18th of September, so less than a month away now. But bear in mind, although all the talk has been of at least a 25 basis point cut, interest rate cut from the Fed, it's still a long way away. We're a month away. A lot can happen. And that's why I just sort of directed you towards these PCE figures. These are one of the things, one of the important data points that could change the Fed's mind. Now, we've got Fed Chair Powell speaking tonight. And again, I don't think he's going to be actually committing to rate cuts. I think he might say that's certainly not a rate cut for September anyway. But I think he will be speaking relatively dovishly, which could be good for the market, or it could be a bit of a disappointment if people are thinking they were expecting him to signal a rate cut in September. I don't think that's going to happen. I know the Fed do like to signal in advance what they're doing to try to prepare the market, but I think it's a bit premature. As I say, bearing in mind there's a whole month away, a lot of data to come in, a lot of uncertainty in the market. So that was the PCE figures. Got an interesting Bitcoin chart we'll look at in a moment. Here's an interesting S&P one actually. 3 trillion added to the S&P since the August low. So $3 trillion added to the S&P. So S&P is toying once again with all-time highs. We did say, and again we'll look at that chart, we did actually say this was going to happen, and it's precisely what is happening. So that's quite a nice validation of what we're doing on the show here. And then just finally, here's a little bit more about the Fed decision and the chances or the odds of the various interest rate reductions that there could be. So basically, there's an 88% chance of there being a 25, this is actually the betting at the moment. These are what the odds are. 88% chance that the Fed is going to cut by 25 basis points on the 18th of September. There's actually that's actually wrong there, but basically a 50% chance, sorry, a 25% chance of a 50 basis point cut, and there's actually a 4% chance of no change. So, sorry, let me just read that again. So a cut of 25%, 25 basis points is 88% chance. A cut of greater than 25 basis points is 25% chance, and no change at all is 4% chance. So I hope I've clarified that. I know I fumbled my numbers a little bit, but that's the odds. So the big chance, the greatest odds are 88% chance we're going to get a 25%. I keep saying that, a 25 basis point cut. Obviously, we can't get a 25% cut. So that's interesting. It tells us that the likelihood is we are going to get that 0.25% rate cut in September at the moment. But as I say, long time to go. Let's just wait and see what happens. So let's move over to the charts and see what's happening in the markets. So this is, I just updated this morning. This is my Bitcoin chart, which you probably may well remember. We've had, for some time, we've been working through this wave 4 triangle. So wave 4 in red, we've got a wave 3 higher, impulsive wave higher in wave 3. We've got an ABCDE wave 4, that's a triangle, pre-terminal wave, and now we're working on a terminal wave, which is a large red fifth wave to the upside. That fifth wave to the upside should be made up itself of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we open it out, we can see that we've already completed the first wave. And that itself was in fact made up of 5 waves, which I know we've shown on previous shows. I won't go into that now. We're working on a slightly bigger fractal here to see where we're likely to go. So we've got the wave 1 up. It looks as though this correction may continue. So there may actually be potentially a bit of disappointment over what Fed Chair Powell has to say tonight. So maybe he's not going to be quite as dovish as some people are hoping or expecting, because this does look, from the wave 1 higher, it looks as though the correction's not yet complete. It is possible, if it breaks above here, convincingly, then, clearly this is maybe some sort of leading diagonal, and then we'll, get a small pullback and a push higher. That is possible, but it does look also a reasonable possibility that we'll get a bit of a further pullback. So whilst I've jumped into positions and dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin and other assets, I wouldn't be adding at this stage. If it pulls back though, I will be looking to buy the dip and add some further dollar cost average positions to build my position gradually. As I say, if we get a further dip down, it may even dip just below this W wave. So if we measured that, and just to show you the way I'd do it, if we measured the magnitude of the W wave, there, transpose it to the top of the X wave there, we can actually see that a 100% target, which would be perfectly normal, would be to 55,200 potentially for Bitcoin. So there's potential for a bit more downside, but there's no certainty. So I would like to hold my positions here, my DCA positions. Even if price falls, I would actually add to those positions, because overall, especially bearing in mind we've got this big triangle, which is a pre-terminal wave, and we should break higher from that triangle. We've already broken higher in an initial small 5 waves there to give us wave 1. So the likelihood is there's a strong possibility that we're going to break quite a bit higher. And as you are all aware by now, I'm expecting new all-time highs for Bitcoin in the not too distant future. And we'll just have to see what the economic data comes out as. We've had some revisions, I think employment data revisions. So employment's still looking reasonably robust. So we'll just need to continue to watch the data closely, as the Fed will be. They will be data dependent, and I'm absolutely certain those are words that he'll be using over and over again. When I say he, I mean Fed Chair Powell. They'll be using those words, data dependent, because their decision is based on the data as and when it comes in. But at the moment, things are looking like odds on that we are going to get that rate cut in September, that 25 basis points rate cut in September. I got it right this time. So just have a quick flip through the other cryptos while we're here. So Ethereum, again, you can see we may well have, again, that a bit further correction down. So we basically had from the top here, I'll probably open it out so you can just see what I'm talking about. Let's just open it a bit more. We can see that basically following this move higher, that I'm just trying to bring it all into screen so we can see it all. Following this move higher from the very low here on the left, right up here, we've had this relatively strong move up. We appear to be chopping sideways a little bit, but we may still have a final little push down. So this could be effectively some kind of A wave or even a W wave. Looks like it's 3 waves. So it could be W, some kind of X wave, and then A, B, Y wave down. So I'm still thinking, looking like Bitcoin, we could have potentially a bit lower to go, not much lower. And so I wouldn't want to get out of position on these assets. They could just take off. That's a possibility. As I said yesterday, corrections are quite uncertain, and there's lots and lots of probabilities, or sorry, lots of possibilities, not probabilities, lots of possibilities for the actual wave structure within a correction. So looks as though we could potentially have another little push down before we push higher on Ethereum. Solana has actually done reasonably nicely. We were talking about it being 141, 142 a couple of days ago, and I jumped in at 142 DCAing. I'm still aware that we could drop lower. We could even drop as low as 130, I think. Wouldn't be a big surprise if that were to happen. I'm still hanging on to my position. I may consider just protecting it in a small profit. I mean, we've gone from 142 to 145.34 right now, so I could protect maybe $1 profit on that, which would equate with a bit more in my position. But $1 in price for Solana. So if I get in 142, I could protect the price of 143. We're currently 145. So if the price were to fall, however far it falls, I will be closed out at 143. That would mean a guaranteed profit of $1 in Solana terms. And then obviously whatever my position size is. So it's looking again as though we have, and I've labeled it out here, that we do have 5 waves higher. I didn't label it in Bitcoin or Ethereum, but here on Solana, I've actually detailed it out as 5 waves higher. And we look as though we're a WX and possibly a Y wave down. So that Y wave itself will be made up of an A that we have here in red, a B again in red, and then a C, which potentially we might be just working on. So we may have a little push down to come before we push higher. But as I say, I don't really want to be left out of position. I might protect my position. If I do and I get stopped out, I will certainly be taking a new position around this dotted line, maybe just above with a stop loss just below. That would be, I think, a sensible opportunity. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed at all, never is guaranteed in trading, but that would be a good opportunity to get in with a really sensible risk reward, where the risk would be, if you got in just above this red dotted line, the risk would be a stop loss just below it. So very small risk there, and you can see the potential upside. This arrow is just the beginning. It could be much, much more than that. So I'm really positive about Solana. Well, I mean, all the cryptos at the moment, really, or most of the cryptos. So just jumping around again. I think we'll actually go to gold. Gold has been, again, reasonably constructive. I have said the long-term gold is very, very positive, and I think it's probably worth, again, I always go to the long-term gold because it's it's very, very bullish long-term, and I love to look at this chart. Very bullish long-term. So from this retracement down here, we've had basically a 1 up in red, 2 down in red, and then we're basically working on wave 3 in red, which should be made up of 5 waves. So here's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and I think we're still working on wave 5. And gold actually is one of those assets that very often has an extended 5th wave. Now, normally with financial assets, normally the 3rd wave is the extended wave, but for some reason, very often in gold, the 5th wave often turns out to be the extended wave. Now, we do have an extended wave here in wave 3 compared to wave 1. Let me just see, compared to wave 1. But let's just see, wave 5 might be even a bigger extension. We'll just have to see. But so far, even the Fibonacci extensions within this final 5th wave are also been really, really good and very accurate. So I think we measured wave 1 here. Sorry, wave 1, where was it? Wave 1 here in red. Wave 2 down, we transposed, and we got wave 3 went to precisely 1.618, which is, of course, the golden ratio. So that happens so often within crypto and within all financial assets, not crypto. It's actually within everything. These Fibonacci numbers are really important. So we went to that 1.618. So we're probably going to get a little bit of a pullback before we push higher again. So I'm actually really bullish gold long term. I think it's got a long, long way to go looking at this wave count. We haven't even completed wave 3 at this example. So we've got 1, 2. We haven't even completed the 3rd wave as yet. Before we get a bit of a pullback in wave 4, and then pushing up again to new all-time highs once again in the final 5th wave of this cycle. And we could even have a larger cycle than that. We'd have to check the time frames to see about that. Oil is still a bit in the doldrums. Again, probably because the economy is a little bit softened. We're not seeing tremendous growth out of, in fact, we've got GDP figures coming very soon out of the US. So we'll see. They came out really robust last time round. Let's just see if there's any revisions to that. But growth looks reasonably robust, but it is actually slowing. There are some signs now that growth is slowing. And that's why, as I said yesterday, I think oil is taking a bit of a breather because both geopolitically, the tensions are reducing, which means that supply is plentiful. There shouldn't be any interruptions to supply. But then demand is also diminishing because economies are softening slightly. And if business is slowing at all, then there's going to be less consumption of oil. And that would mean there's less demand. So both the supply and demand side for oil are actually a little bit negative at the moment. So expect potentially more downside unless we see some flare up in the Middle East or Russia, Ukraine, or anywhere for that matter. But particularly the Middle East is oil prices are very, very sensitive there because still a lot of oil does flow through the Persian Gulf. Obviously, there's a lot of oil from Saudi Arabia. So it's a very, very important area geopolitically and regarding the price of oil. So looking at DXY, dollar index, we saw it break down. I think I'll go shorter term again. We expected this breakdown because of the softening of the economy. And I'll just expand this out a little bit. We did get a substantial break below a long-term trend line. So we may even potentially retest that before lower again. But the fact that we broke it, for me, is reasonable confirmation that there's probably more downside to come. And so often when you break a trend line like this, a supporting or even an overhead resistance, when you break through it, you often then retest it before you then push further in the direction of the new trend, which is now potentially to the downside. So dollar looks as though it's on a weak footing, even if we get a little bit more strength. So if it does come out slightly more hawkish tonight, that would give us that little bit more pullback that we thinking is probably going to happen for crypto, and it would give us a little bit of strength in dollar index and the US dollar, and that could potentially allow us to retest this. What was support is now overhead resistance, and then probably we'll get more weak figures coming through as we approach the interest rate decision on the 18th of September. So that would be my reasoning behind what I think is going to happen to the price there. So the market, as you can see, is relatively positive. As I said, eBay is actually one of the more positive because we had that recent news, the recent listing, and I think there's a lot more positive. We just actually finalized an agreement with a big marketing agency. They're called Key Difference Media, and I think they're going to take us much, much higher. So that's an important development for eBay, and there's obviously ongoing developments within the ratings protocol itself. So the news there is really positive, and I'm very hopeful, and I hope you guys get involved because it's an interesting project to be involved with. Obviously, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It might be just an interesting something to test, and probably it's a buy and hold situation because there's lots of development, and eBay could genuinely become the go-to place for crypto ratings worldwide. So there is a lot of potential there, but of course there are never guarantees. So bear that in mind. Just going through, we had Toncoin. Again, that's picking up a little bit now. Most of these assets are in the same sort of wave structure and wave formations as we saw with Bitcoin. So we've had, and actually as we saw with the S&P 500. So I'm just going to go back to S&P 500. I say go back, I'm not even sure whether I showed it today. But we'll go to S&P 500 because, again, we did say for a long time that this was an ABC correction down, which is corrective. It's against the trend, and we should get a new push to the upside. Now we have got Nvidia earnings, which is one of the the big movers now in the US, the big stock market movers. So I'm expecting Nvidia figures. In fact, I don't know if I've still got it. I did put Nvidia. Yeah, I did put the Nvidia chart here. I'll just show you here. Although we have here we have some hidden bearish divergence, it's actually not certain low. It's actually been amazing. What an amazing indicator it is. It actually did give us a downward push on price, but it is possible that this is just a short-term correction down. You can see RSI was slightly overbought here, and we got this this hidden bearish divergence, which told us the price was going to turn down, and that's precisely what happened. It turned down, which is quite amazing, in fact. We can still push higher. As I say, we're no longer overbought with RSI. We're coming into reasonable territory. If we get strong earnings figures out, that's less than a week away now, then Nvidia could push higher to new all-time highs. If that were to happen, then potentially this hidden bearish divergence would be eliminated. But what you do, as I say, my strategy is always, if you did sell on this signal here, then basically you cover your sale with a stop loss, guaranteeing now a guaranteed profit because you can move your stop loss into profit, guarantee a profit situation, and if Nvidia continues to fall, you'll make a lot more money. But if it does rise, and if we get a surprise to the upside with the earnings, then potentially it could rise, but you'd be guaranteed a profit no matter what. And you could even use that as a barrier for your risk reward potentially for a trade to the upside. So you can potentially, again, as we get close to this line here, which is effectively now a trend line, when we get close to it, you can basically do a buy just below with a buy just above. We need to break through it. You do a buy just above it with a stop loss just below it. That means good risk reward. So the downside would be small, the upside would be substantial. That's the way I play Nvidia. So again, just to go back to the S&P, the S&P 500, we've got an ABC down, which is corrective, and we're pushing. I think we're going to get new all-time highs, and I think we're probably going to push towards that 6,000 area for the S&P 500. But this, as I was saying earlier, the reason I went back to the S&P 500 was just to show you the waveform here as an ABC. And that's the same as we've got with a lot of other assets. So for example, Toncoin is also, if we zoom out a little bit, we can also see Toncoin also had some kind of A, B, C correction down, which gave us a wave 4 most likely. So we have a wave 5 to come, which can take us and should take us above the previous all-time high here at 8.3, and we're currently 6.59. So lots of potential upside there. Again, if there's any further dips, I'd look to buy the dips. I think it's a really good opportunity for people to get involved there. So yeah, I'm liking this market at the moment. Everything's looking really positive. Even, let me just see what we've got here, the dollar yen. Yeah, okay, we've got dollar weakening a little bit. Yeah, so altogether, everything's looking really good. Green across the board pretty well. Strangely, we've got BNB actually slightly in the red, but virtually everything else. DXY, of course, is dollar index, so it's not a crypto. And we'd expect, as dollar index falls a little bit, we expect the rest of the risk assets to rise. And that's precisely what's happening. The only one that stands out, as I say, is BNB, but I'm sure that will correct itself soon and give us some more upside on BNB. And in fact, we've had a big correction again, same sort of format in terms of some kind of ABC move down, and I think we're pushing up gradually. This is now the resistance level. The immediate resistance is this previous high just here, not much higher than where we are now. We're 580 now. That would be 603, the previous resistance. So I think if we break through that, we could accelerate to the upside and correct the whole of this ABC correction down and push impulsively to new highs here on this chart above. Let's see where it's above right now, but quite a bit higher, above 724. So that's a lot higher than where we are now, and that would align with our expectations for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest. And then I think just two final ones to wrap up. We were positive ICP, and rightly so. Just look at the way it's moved. We were positive on this perfect ABC pullback here. You can see it, ABC. It's actually in 3 waves. Beautiful pullback from this impulsive move here. So it's looking really nice. So again, that's validation of everything we've been saying. We've been very bullish ICP, and it's just pushing beautifully. If I open that out, you'll be able to see the candles quite nicely, those green candles, the way they pushed up nicely through that overhead resistance, which is what we expected. We actually said it was going to blast through there, precisely what happened. Litecoin, again, looking to, I think we'll get some, you know, we can chop around a bit, but I think there's a lot of upside to come with Litecoin. Although it's not necessarily my favorite choice of tokens, I still think it's got some good upside to come. So I think that's probably enough for today. Obviously, I can talk about these forever. There's so much, it's so interesting and exciting once you have some good trade techniques. And as I say, if you can use the eBay ratings tool as well to help you in your decision making, then I think it makes it really exciting and enjoyable to get involved in trading the crypto market. So thanks again for listening. It's Friday, isn't it? So have a lovely weekend and look forward to catching up with you on Monday. I'll be back in the UK Monday and hopefully live on the show then. Thanks for listening. Bye.
The great Matt Dixon, my good friend. You know, I really appreciate his market insights, and I hope you do as well. I know many of you do. I'll tell you what, I can't tell you the number of times that I've been in trades or about to do trades and says, well, I think it might do this, or well, and man, I'll tell you, 90-something% of the time he's right. Not 100, okay, not 100, but 90-something% of the time he is right. And so you should take it to mind. I did, as I mentioned, I am contracting some guys to build our site. So we're going to be able to share a lot more with you over the next month or so. Of course, it always takes guys longer to build the site than I want. I used to build them all myself, but I told him it was pretty funny because I said, look, and I know I've talked about it on the show before, you know, 15 years ago, if you looked for promotional models or trade show models, I owned the entire like 3 pages of Google. Like I had all these different sites, and it looked like it was different companies, but it was always me. It was just me. That was all you got. And then, I said, but I'm still building the sites the same way 10 or 15 years ago. So I know that it's time to update, and I don't have time to do it. So I want you guys to do it. So I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be all Web3. And we'll be able to do a lot of things. One of the things I want to do as well on there is to help you guys get started in crypto. I want you guys to be able to do it. I know a lot of you guys don't have crypto yet. And here we are. We're in the monetary revolution. I've been running around the world talking about the monetary revolution for over a decade. I've been to something like, I don't know. I started counting how many countries I went to. And then I thought, is it easier to count the ones that I haven't been to? And I don't think so, but I have been to a lot of different countries. Over 30 or something like that. I don't remember. I was on this long trip and I started putting them all together. I think it's 40 or something like that. A lot of countries. And I've been talking about the monetary revolution. So you guys need to get involved. One of the ways to get involved, of course, is to get yourself some crypto. But we're going to talk about the and one of the things I'm going to have on there is the Tangem wallet, a hardware wallet, so that you guys can own crypto. The Tangem hardware wallet, nice price. You use the code Impact Money, and you get yourself a 10% discount. Easy price point, $50-$60. Get yourself. You can either buy 2 cards or 3 cards. I say for an extra $10 or $7 or whatever it is with my discount code, go ahead and get the 3-card stack, okay? And that way you can have one with you. So if you want to spend your crypto, and it works with your phone, and you get your seed phrase as well, okay? So remember, not your keys, not your coins. So you get your seed phrase. But it has your RFD chip here, and it works right with your phone. And you can send the crypto wherever you want. They're also working on the Visa or MasterCard integration. So you're going to be able to spend your crypto anywhere. These guys have been working at it. I actually did an interview with them. I might play that interview today. We'll see. I did an interview with them a while back. And actually, I've done 2 interviews with them. Great marketing team. If they have a team, it's always like, all right, okay, this is pretty cool. So you can order that today. Now, if you want it today, you order that. Now, they do have as well the ring, and the ring is real sexy. I know, it's real sexy, but it's a pre-order. Okay, it's a pre-order. So you might want to go ahead and get the cards first and then pre-order the ring. But the ring is sexy. I agree. I want the ring too. So you can wear the ring on your finger, and you can just access your wallet like that with your phone, the RFD code. Send your crypto wherever you want. You don't have to worry about anything. You have it right there with you. And then as well, you can keep your backup cards in your safety deposit box, in your safe, or whatever else, right? So, tangem.com, use Impact Money. Use Impact Money when you get there, okay? All right. I'll pull that down here. Yeah. First day of school. It was actually the first week of school for a lot of people. First day of school for my youngest. So fun. I tell guys all the time, don't miss the moment. If you already missed the moment, all right, well, whatever. If you're a guy, you have a much bigger window, okay? So if you miss the moment, you really missed the moment. You got a big window. But have a family. Have some kids. Have a family. It's a lonely life, if not. Have some kids. This will be the best thing you ever did. And as well, you cannot, contribute to society, really. You almost can't contribute in a better way. I don't know if there is a better way that you can contribute to society. I'm really glad that Elon Musk has brought this up multiple times, that we are in a population collapse. We're in a population collapse. It's true. We were in a population collapse, and we need to have kids. We need to have more kids. And I get it. I mean, I didn't get married till I was 30, and my wife's the same age as me. So, you know, we had 2 kids. We tried to have more, but it's a little bit of magic that goes on with that stuff, apparently. So, you know, maybe we'll have more. I'll have her talked into some more. We'll see. I would like that a lot. I'm from a family of 6 kids, so I have 5 brothers and sisters, believe it or not. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. We had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And that's, you know, that's something else, right? And even now as we get older, I can see, you know, I mean, we have a bigger network, right? We have a bigger family. So it's really important, guys. You really want to do that. You really do. So with the markets, they're just going to be, I think, so now what you're going to have probably happening here, I do think even if we have a bit of a pullback, I think that things will run. But a lot of people are going to get the jitters here over the next couple hours, and they're just going to close their positions because they don't want to be in the market. And that's what you saw yesterday as well. People just closing their positions. They don't want to be in the market when we have that. Make sure if you are in the market that you are well collateralized, because a lot of times we'll go wham, wham, especially if you're margin trading or futures trading, leverage trading. Make sure that you are collateralized enough, that you have enough collateral in there where if it takes a deep dip or a deep up, if you're short, I wouldn't be short. I wouldn't have a large leverage position unless you're very well collateralized, because we will go up. General consensus is we go up, even if we go down a little bit. It's possible that the markets, you know, and that's kind of what Matt said. It's possible that the markets are, if he comes out and he doesn't say they're going to do a rate cut, or he's not sure, that the markets are let down by that and they go down. We'll see. Definitely, let me just look at the futures here. I got my eye on the markets here. The future, Dow futures. Dow futures still up 155 points, 155. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Asian markets here. Yeah, pretty nice day, really. Asian markets. He did mention the Japanese yen. Oil up. Oil's actually up a little bit, but it's just down from where it was. I know we talked about the charts. They're going to keep oil prices down because it is an election year and they need those oil prices down. So they're going to keep them down. That's what I think. They're going to keep those oil prices down. So yeah, but I think either way, you know, what happens is the markets, they kind of, well, first of all, there's people in the know. So some people, and it's a decent group of people, and they're really important people as far as trading is concerned. They know what is going to happen today. And so they've priced the market out to be what it's supposed to be. So it'll be interesting. I don't want to go any more into that. We'll see as it comes out. I will be back on TV around 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, or on 11 a.m. there on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana. We did touch on a number of things today. One of them that I do want to talk about as well is dog or flower. Dog or flower. So we talked about the TON ecosystem a little bit. TON ecosystem is absolutely just exploding. It is growing so fast. I mean, they just have rocketed. They have rocketed up the charts. One of the we go. One of the fun meme coins that I think can be, I am confident that can be a very good one, will be a very good one. It's dog or flower. I'll just show you this site here, dog or flower. And I have to put how to buy these. I'll put instructions how to buy. Of course, if they're on CoinStore like P-Gold or eBay, of course, that's easy. You can just go there, although there's more liquidity on the DEXs. So dog or flower, it trades as OR. O-R. Is it a dog or a flower? Fun meme coin. They have a good style, if you will. They have a good style to what they're doing. I like it. Okay. Or it trades as the most memeable dog on Ton. Now, Ton is in the top 10 of crypto. Okay. Massive. And this is dogorflower.io. Their X is or Ton coin. This is their X right here. Talking about the good morning.
Double as floating devices. Just wanted to take the time to remind you that your seat cushions double as floating devices. Just wanted to take the time to remind you that your seat cushions.
Says the U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell speaks today in about 6 hours from now. We expect some turbulence. And then it should be smooth flying into October. Predicting somewhat dovish tone with an indication of 25 basis point, 0.25 reduction on interest rates in September. So not only is it a cute meme, but it's making market predictions. Dog or flower, dogorflower.io. You can find them on X right there at Ton Coin. Fun community. Fun coin, fun community. So those are the good ones. Those are the good ones. So it's kind of a wait and see. It is a wait and see today. I am going to I'm going to call the show early. I'm going to get my daughter to school on time. I have been going a little bit longer, agreed. But all eyes are on the Fed chair and what's going to happen here. I think either way, even if we have a pullback, it's a buying opportunity. And then things will fly. But we may just fly. It's just very hard to say. As Matt says, the sideways corrections are hard to predict exactly what's going to happen. That's it, guys. I'm signing off. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.